Everything was finally falling into place for the Seattle Seahawks. The defense was getting healthy. The secondary, one of the most hyped units in the entire league, was ready to take the field at full strength. And then, just like that, it all fell apart again. For weeks, Seahawks fans have been waiting to see the real defense. The one that was built on speed, communication, and pure chaos. The one led by Julian Love, a player who brings both brains and fire to every snap. But now that dream is on hold again. Julian Love has re-injured his hamstring, and just like that, Seattle's defensive plans have taken a major hit. He's been officially ruled out for Sunday's matchup against the Commanders, and the mood in Seattle has gone from confident to cautious overnight. It's a cruel twist. Just days ago, Love was moving well in practice. Reporters said he was on track. Even coach Mike McDonald believed he'd be ready to roll. Fans were excited to finally see what this secondary could do at full strength. But football doesn't care about plans. It's a game of inches, and sometimes injuries take more than that. Now the question becomes, how long will Love be gone? And worse, could this lead to an IR stint which would sideline him for 4 more weeks? That's nearly a month without one of Seattle's most trusted defenders. If that happens, the Seahawks defense will have to rely on depth, and that means names like Tayoka and Nicky Menwari stepping up once again. Menwari, the rookie, has been electric since returning from his ankle injury. Flying around the field, breaking up passes, and proving why he's one of the top young defenders in the league. Tayoka, on the other hand, isn't your flashy highlight guy, but he's the kind of player every coach loves to have. Tough, disciplined, versatile. He's not just making tackles, he's making sacks, forcing incompletions, breaking up passes, and getting into the backfield when the team needs a spark. He's not Julian Love, but he's reliable, and right now that's exactly what Seattle needs. Still, this loss stings. Fans know it. Coaches feel it. Because when Julian Love is on the field, the Seahawks defense just feels different. Faster, smarter, and more confident. And now, that heart of the secondary might be missing for weeks. When one leader falls, the real test begins. Julian Love is gone for now, and the question every Seahawks fan is asking is simple. Can the next men up hold the line, or will the cracks start to show? This is where the spotlight shifts to 2 names that have quietly become the backbone of Seattle's defense. Tayoka and Nicky Menwari. Tayoka has been a force this season. One of the top tacklers on the team, living in the backfield, and constantly finding ways to make plays. He's not just cleaning up, he's attacking. 2 sacks already, several pass breakups, and countless moments where he's the first man to the football. And then there's Nicky Menwari, the rookie sensation who's shocking the entire NFL world. Before the season began, he was a long shot for Defensive Rookie of the Year. Odds were plus 5,000, barely even on the radar. Now, he's sitting at plus 250, right near the top of the list. That's not just hype, that's production. That's consistency. That's a young player turning heads every single week. Together, these 2 have stepped up in Julian Love's absence. But they're not perfect yet. The Seahawks secondary still has one weakness: communication. It's the small mistakes that are hurting them. The missed signals, the blown coverages, the "how did that guy get so open" kind of moments. We saw it against Jacksonville. We saw it against Tampa Bay. A couple times, 2 defenders crashed on one receiver while another slipped right past them. Those mental mistakes cost games, and in the NFC playoff race, every mistake matters. Still, both players are giving everything they've got. Tayoka's leadership and toughness bring calm when things get chaotic. Menwari's speed and instincts give the Seahawks an edge in the box and off the blitz. They're different players, but both vital. And that leads to the big question: who do you trust more? Do you believe Tayoka should stay at strong safety, the reliable veteran who plays smart and steady? Or do you want to see Nicky Menwari moved out of that big nickel role and unleashed as a full-time strong safety? If you're riding with Tayoka, type 2 in the comments. If you're rolling with Menwari, type N. Because this decision could shape how Seattle's defense performs for the next month or longer. And it's not just the defense taking hits. On the offensive side, Derek Young has been ruled out with a quadriceps injury. He's not the flashiest name on the roster, but his impact is real. especially on special teams and in run blocking. When Young's on the field, he brings effort, toughness, and a spark of energy. Whether it's springing a return for extra yards or sealing a block that turns a small run into a big gain, he's one of those quiet players who make everything click. But with his injury, the Seahawks made a move. They've signed Beezy Jones, a former Saints player who's part receiver, part running back, part returner. Basically, a pure gadget weapon. And while it's only a practice squad signing for now, don't be surprised if this turns into something bigger. Because every time Seattle brings in a player like that, something is brewing. Sometimes the biggest changes come out of nowhere. You blink, check your phone, and suddenly, the Seahawks roster looks completely different. Just moments after practice reports dropped, the news broke: Bailey Jones Jr. has been released from the practice squad. In his place, a familiar face, Myles Gaskin, is back in Seattle. The timing couldn't be more crucial. With Derek Young sidelined by that tough quadriceps injury, the Seahawks needed a spark. Someone who can step into that kick return and special teams role immediately. That's where Gaskin comes in. He's been here before. He knows the system, he knows the pace, and more importantly, he's hungry. Don't be surprised if you see him suited up and taking reps in the return game soon. He's got that prove-it mindset, and for players like him, moments like these can redefine careers. It's not the kind of flashy move that makes headlines, but it's the kind that wins games in December. Now, let's be real. It's been a rough stretch for Seattle fans. Injuries, adjustments, constant change. But there's a reason to stay optimistic, because for every setback this team faces, someone always steps up. That's been the story of the Seahawks this year: resilience. From backups turning into playmakers, to rookies shocking the league, to veterans refusing to quit. This team keeps fighting. So yes, losing Bailey's hurts depth. And yes, the roster shuffle feels endless right now. But if there's one thing we've learned about Seattle under Pete Carroll, it's that the word next man up actually means something here. And maybe, just maybe, Myles Gaskin is about to write his own comeback chapter. The dark clouds have hung over this team long enough. Julian Love out. Derek Young banged up. Roster changes piling up like laundry after a loss. But just when the mood was starting to sink, there it was, a glimmer of light. Devin Witherspoon is back. Full participation. No limits. No hesitation. Just that same fire that made him one of the most electric rookies in the league last season. The Seahawks defense finally gets its swagger back. At practice, Witherspoon lined up against Jackson Smith-Njigba, going full speed, cutting, shadowing, chirping, looking like the same old Spoon. The knee is holding up. The confidence, sky high. And that means one thing: chaos for opposing offenses. Because when Devin Witherspoon and Nick Emenwari are both healthy, you can do things most defenses can only dream about. Line them up together on one side, you've got range, aggression, and pure attitude. Both can blitz. Both can tackle. Both can drop back and erase receivers. They're not just defenders, they're disruptors. Imagine the look on a quarterback's face when both those guys are creeping up toward the line, disguising coverage, daring you to throw. That's what Seattle's defense has been missing. That unpredictability. Now it's coming back. For Seahawks fans, this is more than just a name on an injury report. It's momentum. It's a reminder that this defense, when healthy, can be terrifying. So yeah, Will Ortner might not want another idiot sandwich moment by saying it too soon, but let's just say Spoon looks ready. And when he's out there flying around, talking his talk, hitting like a missile, this defense feels different. This is the spark the Seahawks needed.